Hi guys, welcome to a new knitting podcast. My name is Claudia and I'm a really passionate knitter here in the Netherlands. And today I want to update you on what I'm working on and what I have finished. Because it's been a while. Again, I just saw that I uploaded my last podcast more than a month ago, which means I filmed it like a month and a half ago. So it's really time to update you guys. And yeah, I think I have a lot to show you, but also I think I don't have a lot to show you. It's been up and down month, especially mentally, which you all know by now. But yeah, let's just get started. I have a couple of finished objects and I'm gonna start with what I'm wearing right now. And this is also a first for you because I started this like a couple of weeks ago. So it hasn't appeared in my previous podcast episode. But this is my first Tolsta tee. And as you can see, I made a black one with eyelet rose to make it more airy and more summery. And I really like how this has turned out. So if I untuck it, it comes to here, which my belly button is here. So it's a really cropped version, but that suits me and my body the best. The back feels longer, but probably I should wear it more like this. But then the neckline widens, and the neckline has widened already quite a bit, I feel. I've worn this a couple of times already. But yeah, I really like it. It's been nice and summery weather here in the Netherlands. Today it's a little bit cooler, but I really like that. I'm also filming with the doors wide open, so if you hear any birds or traffic, you know why. But yeah, let's come up close. So as you can see, the eyelets and the fabric is really airy, and the pattern is meant to have a really loose gauge. Well, I achieved that, as you can see. So I'm wearing a top underneath just to cover my bra, because that makes it a little bit more wearable, and I'll tuck it in most of the time. Well, all of the time. And yeah, so the neckline is quite wide and round, and the arms come up to here. And they're also quite wide, and the positive ease is here. So yeah, that's how my first Tolsta tee looks. About what I used. The yarn that I used, I don't have a skein with me, but it is Lana, Grossa, Solo, Linea, Pura. I'll mention it down below in the description box. But it's a 100% linen yarn. And a part of it is recycled linen. It's it's called viscose linen, and part of it is new. And for a linen yarn, it's quite soft to the touch. It doesn't scratch, and it's softened a little bit with blocking, I have to say. But yeah, it was fine to work with. So I like the yarn. It has grown a little bit, and it's quite heavy, I have to say, but it's a nice summer yarn, and I feel a little bit hot right now in this shirt, but I do have to say, in any t-shirt I would feel hot right now, just because I was busy going around the house just now, collecting everything, and it's just summer. So yeah, the pattern calls for a 0 to 8 centimeter of positive ease. And I don't know if I've mentioned the designer. If you don't know, the Tolsta tee is a design by Rebecca Clow from the Creabea. And she released it a couple of weeks ago. And I almost immediately started with my first version, this one. And I'm making the second one, and that is also almost finished. And I have plans for a third and fourth and maybe a fifth. So that's to say how much I like just a plain simple t-shirt pattern. It is a raglan. I don't know if you can tell, but here is the raglan line. So it just is a really simple pattern, and it's really customizable. And Rebecca really intended that with the pattern, and all her testers have made lots of alterations and made it their own. And I really like that aspect, because usually I'm quite hesitant with altering, changing, modifications. I do them mostly on the fit to make sure it fits me the way I want. But now I made eyelets for the first time, and it was fun to do. It's really simple, to be honest, but it's a cute detail, and it makes this shirt a lot more interesting than when it would be completely black. But yeah, what I wanted to say about the positive ease, it should be between 0 and 8 centimeters. But with her sizing, I had to make, actually I'm a size 3, because my bust size is about 100 centimeters. But then I would have 0 positive ease, which I don't like. I want things not to stick too much to my body. I want it airy and breezy, and I really like an oversized boxy fit. It's just more relaxed fitting. So I went between 2 sizes, so between 3 and 4, which meant that I followed the steps for size 3 with amount of stitches I set up for the neckline and did the raglans, but then I increased some more down here until I felt it was big enough. Like, now I can see it's really quite big, but I like that. So yeah, I could have made a couple of less rows on the yoke and less decreases, but I wasn't really sure how it would block out, and I really like the fit. And the fabric is so drapey that it doesn't bunch up here all that much. It feels really comfortable, and yeah, I don't think you can tell it's really oversized and that the fabric bulks up here. So that is what I did. I believe the needle size she recommends is needle size 5 millimeters, and for this I think I tried it first with 5 millimeters. I'm not sure. And I already did the yoke, and I believe I split for sleeves. But I wasn't really happy with how the fabric turned out. It was like an extremely loose gauge, and it was like messy. So I ripped it all out and started again, which, you know, it's a really quick pattern and quick knit, so I didn't mind that. So I almost made it twice and went down a needle size, I think 4.5 or maybe 4, I'm not sure yet, or I'm not sure anymore. But I went down a needle size, and then that is why I made the decision to increase a little bit more. And I also made the sleeves a little bit longer than the pattern says, because I don't like the really short sleeves on my arms. I don't think that's really flattering for my arms. A little bit longer makes them look a little bit slimmer. So yeah, that's what I chose. I'm really enjoying this. So I'm not the first one to make a black Torsetti with eyelets, but hey, it's a staple for sure for me. And I really like this fabric and tucked into jeans, and I already wore it in a black skirt, and that was cute as well. So yeah, that's my first finished object out of the way. Next, I'm going to talk about some things that I have shown you in a previous podcast. I'm going to start with these socks. I'm not really sure if I already showed you it as a completely finished pair, but just to be sure, I'm going to talk about it really quick, just to be complete. So these socks are the Broken Rope socks by Summerly Design Co. Yes, and they're DK weight socks. So the yarn that I used is Lana Grossa Meilenweit 6-fach, I believe. And I added a little cuff. And then it's broken rib stitch, a slip stitch, heel and gusset, heel turn. And yeah, it's a really simple sock. I'm 100% sure. Last time I had one sock finished and I was working on a second. But now it's a finished pair and I'm not wearing them, obviously, in summertime. These are ready to wear for the winter. And these are the second pair of socks I made out of the one skein that I bought. It's a skein of 150 grams. And I already made 2 pairs of socks for me. And I still have some left. So good to know. My feet are quite small. I made a size like European size 37. So they're short, they're cute, and I hope they fit well and they're nice. They're not all that soft, but we'll see. So yeah, I really like the broken rib stitch because it's a mindless knit, but it's not just a vanilla sock. So it's a nice in between. And I don't have a lot to say anything else about this. Just that, like, every time I show this yarn and show these socks, the color is just so amazing, but I like it even more on screen. But yeah, you could tell by my nail polish, I like me some pink. So that's these socks. Won't show them again, unless I want to do like a sock roundup sometime. And next, I was working on this, I believe. But a couple of weeks ago, a colleague of mine, a close colleague, gave birth to her second son. And I really wanted to make something for her. And the little boy, he's called Simon. And tomorrow I'm going to visit her with my colleagues. And yeah, I really wanted to knit something. And I'm glad I have the chance to show these items to you in a podcast. And that's why I'm filming right now, because I'm giving them away tomorrow. Yeah, and I really needed to film an update. So I made a little set with a hat. I have no idea how big this is. I think it's quite big. He's born in May, so I don't know if it will fit him next winter, this winter, or maybe the year after. But I don't really mind that. I don't care. I just wanted to make something, be mindful about that, and I really enjoyed knitting it. And so it was accomplished for me. I wanted to do that, and I hope they can get used out of this. And if they use this for his brother, it's totally fine. So the yarn that I used is Drops Merino Extra Fine. So it's 100% superwash merino in this really nice dark sea greeny color. And the patterns that I used, I have no idea how they're called, but I wrote them down in the description box in my last video, so I will copy that and do that below here as well, so you can look them up. Because I used 3 patterns from Ravelry, I have 3 things. So it's a little cute hat with a 2x2 rib, and then a couple of rows, I think maybe 20 rows straight, and then I did the increases. So it's got the 5 points. I believe I used needle size 4 for all my items. And yeah, I really like how this turned out. I really like the color. I think it's really cute. And to go with that, I made a scarf, just a really simple garter stitch scarf with slip stitch edging, so it's nice and neat. And on one side I made a little hole, so when they wear it, and I can actually wear this, they can just pull this through and it's easy to take off and on. Again, probably quite big, but well, he'll grow into it. And it was really hard to pick a size or pick the length that I needed to make, because I don't have little kids around me. I'm not a mom myself. I am an aunt, but I don't see my nephews all that much, and I have no idea about the children's sizes. So I believe I mentioned this in the previous podcast when I showed you this. I think this was try number 3 or 4. Like, I made first the size for 1-year-old and it was way too big, and then I went to newborn and I felt way too big, and this is preemie. that is hard to believe. It is also stretchy. So I have no idea what is the correct size. So yeah, we'll see. I'll see tomorrow. I hope she likes the intention of making something for her. So yeah, the scarf, I looked it up and they say for a baby or like a small child, the scarf should be as long as the child itself is. So this is too long, obviously, for right now, but I have no idea how long he will be when it's December. So this is my self-drafted scarf. I didn't follow a pattern for this. Firstly, my hole was a lot bigger, but then I felt like the scarf could easily fall out of this. So I ripped it back until I felt it was a little bit, it was secure enough. So that's the scarf. And lastly, I have these really cute mittens. Also from a pattern I found on Ravelry with a 2x2 rib. And then I made that a little bit smaller and I increased right after that. So it has that balloony effect. I hope then it will fit around his waist a little bit better or stays in place. No thumb detail, just plain and simple, and the increases on the top. And I made an I-cord to attach it. Again, I really had to guess how long I should make this that it fits in his jacket. I have no idea, but I can always cut it off and just use the mittens. So yeah, it's really cute. I really loved making this. It's the first time knitting for a child for me. I haven't knit anything for my nephews yet because I wasn't a knitter when they were born or wasn't experienced. And now I have no idea if it's worth it to knit something because they have a lot of stuff and I really would like to make like a cute little sweater, but they will grow out of it so soon. So I'm not sure yet, but this was really cute. And I have another colleague that's pregnant with twins, so maybe I will knit something for her as well. But she is due in August, so I have to think of something soon. I don't know if I want to make another set of this just because it was really hard with sizing. And I think the twins will be born a little bit premature, like twins are almost always. So I have no idea how big they will be in winter. So maybe I will make like a blanket, 2 blankets, if it's not too big of a project. Or maybe like sweaters. I would love to make some cute baby sweaters. But sizing is difficult and I don't want to waste my yarn and my time. Enough said about this. If you want to make something like this, the patterns I mentioned down below. But keep in mind sizing. I have no experience with this. It's just fun to make. And then next finished object is something I've already shown you, but not tried it on. And last time it wasn't completely done. I hadn't made the straps. And this is my Sugarboo Bralette DK by Caidree. I have to say, I've already worn this like a couple of times. This is the back, so it's a really simple camisole with the triangle cups. And I really loved the edging with the increases over here. It's really nice and neat and I like that. I also made this Villa camisole by her and that was finished last time, so I tried it on and I showed you in depth in the previous podcast. I think that has a cute line detail in the middle of the cups made with increases, but I like the finishing of this one better. It feels more polished, so 2 little bit bigger triangles in the front and the smaller ones in the back, and then a large portion of ribbing. The yarn that I used was from Rico Design Fashion Silk Blend DK. So it was a DK blend, but it was like a chainette style yarn. The contents, I have to look it up more, is 45% cotton, 45% silk and 10% polyamide. So like half cotton, half silk, which meant it has grown enormously. And I didn't account for this much growth, unfortunately. But one skein of 50 grams has 225 meters. So you wouldn't think it's a DK weight yarn based on that. But it really is, and it's a lovely soft yarn. It's so soft. It has a lovely sheen from the silk. It's wonderful to wear on your skin. So I really like this yarn. I would work with it again, but maybe for accessories like a scarf. And it's perfect yarn for a bralette, but I should have made like 2 sizes smaller to account for the expansion with blocking. But then the cups maybe wouldn't be long enough. So I'm going to put it on for you so I can show you. I'm really happy with this, by the way. I didn't tell that maybe, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's just not a bralette anymore. So give me a minute. I'm going to put this on. Okay, here I have it on. And as you can see, the color is really beautiful. This for me is a perfect nude color. I don't like beige. That doesn't suit me at all. This color does wash me out a little bit, but for summer tops, I really like the softness. So this is how it fits. And as you can see, like it bounces back a little bit, but it's not a body hugging bralette. And the ribbing is just like white. It hasn't scrunched up on itself. And I even think I did just a normal rib and not a twisted rib or half twisted rib like I normally use. So this is how it fits. It's cropped, but not that cropped. Like on top of this jeans, it should be okay, but I'm not wearing this with long jeans, to be honest. I'm just wearing this around the house with shorts. But on holiday, I think I will take this with me just to lounge around in, or maybe on top of a skirt. This could be cute. Honestly, I wear this without a bra. And then it fits also really nice. I think the straps will grow a little bit more because they did that on my Svila camisole. But yeah, this is my Sugarboo bralette. But I don't think it's a bralette. It's just a cute camisole top. I don't care. It's really soft. So I'm a little bit sad that it isn't a bralette, because it would have been so nice to have this fabric like really close to skin. But on the other hand, it's really soft and nice to wear and also airy. So I don't get that hot in this. So yeah, I've worn this a bunch of times and I don't think you can see that on the fabric at all. It just looks like I just blocked this. So yeah, I really enjoy this pattern. Recommend this. Just keep in mind what yarn you're using, and if you're using cotton, keep in mind that it probably will grow and that you should size down. I think I was between sizes, like I usually am, and I chose the size up because I didn't want it to be too tight. I thought, well, it's a summer top, don't mind a little bit of ease, but it's more ease than I maybe wanted. So yeah, that is this top. I don't know if I have anything else to tell about this, but I think I followed the pattern, what it said, and the needle size and the gauge was quite fine. It's just my yarn choice that wasn't the best. So I'm going to change back now and be right back. Okay, next finished object, last finished object for today. And then I've already talked like half an hour for just the finished objects. And it's a really cute thing for me. It's also new to you, but this is the Penelope kerchief by Linea. I was inspired by high fiber knits, when she was talking about lace knitting, and I really wanted to try lace knitting. So, and I want to make the Barbour top. I told you that in my previous video, which was summer inspiration and planning video. If you're curious to know what I'm planning to make, you can watch that. But yeah, this is a small project. It didn't took me that long. I could have done this in a day, but I had to rip it out some and start again. But it was really fun to do, this lace. So you start here at this pointy end and you work your way up. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. I really recommend it if you want to try something in lace. And it has also child sizes. So yeah, I don't think I will wear this a lot. Maybe on days when my hair desperately needs a wash. But then again, I won't wear this to work or anything like that. I've worn this around the house a little bit. It's just a little bit, unfortunately, my boyfriend said like, hey, it reminds me of Roodkapje. Is that Little Red Riding Hood? I don't know. That didn't felt that cute. I said that I chose red and not blue. But I can see myself making another one of this in blue or maybe green, or I have some of this yarn left, so that would be really cute, like a matching set. But I don't think I will wear it that often, so maybe that's not the best choice then to make something again. So it's really cute. I can keep my hair out of my face when it's dirty, or maybe when going to the beach and I want to protect my head or my hair for the sun. I don't know. I just like it, and as I said, it's cute. So I believe I used, the pattern calls for 4mm needles. I think I used 3.75 or 3.5 millimeters to get this. And the yarn that I used is Schwarzmeyer Catania. I just had that lying around in my stash, so it's a cotton yarn. In this gorgeous red with a little pink undertone color. So yeah, I really enjoyed making this. I like having it. No idea when I wear this, but hey, that's all part of the knitting process. I think, words. I'm really a sweater knitter, but I'm really enjoying the diversity of knitting that I did the last couple of months. For summer tops, like this accessory or the baby knits. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. So, that's my last finished object. And then we're going into whips. I have a few. So yeah, let's start with the first one. I'm not sure if I want to finish it. This sock I've shown you last time, I think. I'm a little bit further. And this is the Guernsey socks by Somali Design Co. So it has pull bars at the back, and in the front it has 2 cables rows. So here we have a cable, then a column of knit stitches, just stock net, and then another column of cables. And it's just a little bit of a hassle to fiddly to make the cables. I don't really like working on this. And I don't think the yarn is all that great, like the yarn color. And I have this yarn lying around from a previous sock, because this is Lana Grossa Meilenweit jam hand dyed merino. I don't know the exact name, but I have a bunch of skeins of that, and with one skein I have a lot of yarn left when I made a pair of socks. So I made a pair of socks, and this is what I had left, so I wanted to make just another pair of the end of it. And as you can see, it has a fade to a dark gray color, and it started out like a really dark blue. Well, the dark blue ended up in the first sock, and here you can see the blue speckles. So it is a fade, but it also has speckles. And here you can see the like gray black speckles coming through. And I think the yarn is a little bit too speckly, too graded, too busy for this pattern, for the cables to pop out. And it's just not my color. I don't vibe with this, if I can say that. I don't know. I don't want to rip it out, but this is my first sock. So I don't know if I have the stamina to make the second sock. I don't know what I want to do with the yarn, by the way. But yeah, so I really need to take this with me when in car knitting, when I'm driving and or we are going on a road trip and I can knit, because then I'm stuck with this and then I will knit it. Because I think last time I was on the leg, so I am a little bit further. But I'm not sure what I want to do with this. So I already started another pair of socks because I really like having socks on my needles. So I can knit when I have a break at work, for example, or when I'm waiting somewhere. For this I use needle size 2.75. And the next pair is just a vanilla ankle sock. And this is also with scraps I had lying around from another pair. It's a little bit difficult to show you, but it's just a stockinette sock. I did a 1x1 rib for 1/2 inch, 1.5 centimeters. Then a couple of rows, I think 4 rows of stockinette stitch. And then I did the slip stitch heel. And the yarn, I believe, started with purple, and you can see some purple spots left, speckles, and it turns to this blue color. So that will be on the toe. And I made full length vanilla socks with the first half of the skein, and then I had, I think, 20 grams left. So one skein is about 55 grams. I think I had 20 grams approximately left. So I made I'm making an ankle sock to make sure I can finish a whole sock with this. And this I'm enjoying way more. Maybe I am a vanilla sock girly. I'm not sure yet. I really want to try textured socks. I like the broken rib stitch. I have the pattern bought from Somebody Design Go with the lace. I really want to try that, but then I want to use like a solid tonal yarn, and I don't have that right now. So yeah, this is my other whip, just easy. But then again, I don't know what to do with this one. So I'll keep you updated. Maybe you won't see it again for a long time. But yeah, those are 2 really quick whips. I don't want to go in depth because they're not all that interesting. Next. My second Tolsta tee, which I bound off the body last night. And I'm in love with this. Ta-da! So, isn't this like joyful and happy and summery? I really wanted to make a pink and red striped Tolsta tee with the big stripes, like Rebecca did herself. These stripes are a little bit smaller. I made about 7 centimeter stripes of each color. And yeah, I did have some problems with this, but that was all my doing. Firstly, the yarn that I used. For the pink yarn, I'm using as a starter the Go Handmade Soft Bamboo Double, which is a blend of 70% bamboo, 23% cotton and 7% acrylic. And this is so soft. I believe bamboo yarn already is really soft, and this is just so soft. And I had some skeins lying around my stash, but it wasn't enough for like a full t-shirt or maybe a summer top. But I already made the Sugarboo bralette in a soft pink, and I felt like making another type of top with this would be a little bit redundant, but I really wanted to use this. So I had 4 skeins of this, bought them in the sale at the local yarn store. If you know, you know. So I thought I could use this for the Tolsta. But the Tolsta has quite a large gauge. I believe 17 stitches per 4 inches. So I went to my local yarn store to search for a yarn that I can pair with this. And I came out with this Surrey alpaca. Not really summery, but who cares? I'll talk about it in a bit. So this is a really soft, I think this is what you call Surrey alpaca. And this is Lana Grossa Seta Surrey. And it's 69% alpaca and 31% silk. And this is just the softest fluffy yarn that I've ever tried. This mohair really itches for me, like all the mohair that I've tried and felt, and even like the Isager mohair I saw in the store, and I put it up to my neck and that instantly itches, and this doesn't. So yeah, I bought 2 skeins of this to go with the pink yarn. And for the red, I'm using Drops Cotton Merino, because this is like a proper DK weight yarn. And when I started, I was a little bit worried that the red yarn would bleed. So I washed the first 2 skeins before I used it, but it didn't bleed at all in the water. So I used like a wool wash and the water was still clear, and there was no red coming off. So the last skein, I'm just winging it. Hopefully it doesn't bleed in the end when I will block this. But yeah, so the pink yarn, I don't know if you can tell the fluff. Yes, here on top you can see the fluff. And it transfers a bit on the red, but I don't mind that because it softens the red a little bit, because the red pops out of the colors. But I'm a pink girly, as I told. And the red that I used really suits with this. It just was in the store, I had the pink and I just held it with all the reds that I could find. And I really liked this color combination. But when I tried it on, I was, I think, working on my last pink box. No, I already started on my last red stripe. And then I tried it on, I made a picture of it, maybe for my Instagram stories. And it struck me that the bottom pink stripe felt way off. It felt way too big, and the red stripe felt way too big. So I did a count, and like I think though here on top, well, this I can't really tell because of the ribbing, but I believe I had 15 rows. So the next time I made the red stripe, I knitted 15 rows and then took the pink yarn. But when you're making the first row with the new yarn, you're actually working still the V's from the previous yarn. So this turned out 16 rows, and it also happened with the pink yarn. So I ripped it all out and took 1 row of the red yarn, and I redid the pink yarn. And then it still felt too big, so I just ripped out another row. I think my gauge is a little bit bigger row gauge on the bottom part. I think I knit it a little bit looser. So I'm not really happy with the stripe portion, but now it looks okay. Now it looks fine. This is the back, by the way. So yeah, I'm going to try this on. So this is when I have it on. The pink has a little bit of the same effect like the Sugarboo Bralette. It isn't really my color. Actually, the red is in my color analysis wheel more because I'm a winter type. This isn't, but I just love it. And this is the full body. So as you can see, it is really cropped. And I think this will grow with blocking because the cotton merino drops. I think this will grow, and the bamboo cotton yarn maybe also. So I think it will grow a little bit. But this is the length that suits my body the best. I think it comes around my waist a little bit more. And if I wanted to make it longer, I should make like another 7 centimeters of pink. And I think then it would be too long also to tuck it in. So yeah. For this I'm making a size 4. So I completely followed the pattern for a size 4. And it feels more snug than the black version. But this isn't blocked yet. And I really like how neat this is. And this also is quite low under the armpits, but I really like that. Because I think this will be a little bit of a warmer t-shirt. And then I don't want my fabric to be right under my armpits, ready to get sweaty. So yeah, I think the sleeves I will make even longer. So I need to do like 2 or 3 rows of pink and then just a full block of red. And then I will finish this. So this isn't a t-shirt for me that I want to wear right now. This for me is ready for like September, end of summer, beginning of autumn. That is when I want to wear this. And it is a little bit warmer because of the, I think the alpaca. But it's so soft, it's so nice. And this still like itches really a little bit, but I can get used to this. I really want to use that yarn again for like sweaters in wintertime. But yeah, I just love this. I love the color combination. I love how happy it is. And the bigger stripes I feel like give them more of a modern touch. And I really want to make like a hot pink and orange version as well. But I think I will put that off for September, after summertime, after my holiday, or maybe next year. But yeah, that's another plan of me, a hot pink and orange version, because I like that color combination as well. So yeah, this is almost finished. Next time it will be finished because I just have to do the sleeves and those will go really quick, I think, to here. And then I can wear this if I want to, if it's cool enough outside. Well, actually for a day as today, I would have liked to wear this. And I also like that it doesn't have too much of a rectangular shape here, because with the testers I sometimes saw with stripes that because of the raglan you have this angle here that is a really sharp angle, but with the striped version from Rebecca herself, her pink and orange one, it didn't have that all that much because she made it a size larger. So maybe when this will relax a bit, I think the collar will also stretch out, so maybe I can put it a little elastic to prevent that, but then the angular shape isn't all that harsh. I like that. Yeah, this was the last thing I wanted to try on. I used needle size 5 millimeters. So this actually is a really simple knit if you count your rows correctly for the stripes. But it's honestly my first striped project ever. So I just had to learn that. And yeah, last look. Yeah, okay. You know what? I'll keep this on. It's cute. Next, I want to have 2 projects to show you. Well, one is a fail, or like I'm going to rip it out. I have this really special yarn for summer. I still want to talk about this. Although if you've seen my latest video, the summer inspiration planning video, you've already seen this. Oh, fluff. Blah. I have this yarn lying around, pink of course, from when I went to the Handwerkbeurs in Zwolle. And it's a basic sock yarn from Wol met Verven. It's a Dutch hand dyer. So from 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, just a fingering weight. And I bought 2 skeins for a summer top. It's not the softest, but it will be fine. So I caked it up. Look at those colors. Yeah. I feel like in the skein you can see, or like in the cake you can see it's a little bit more orange in there, more, this feels more pink to me than this. But maybe that's just me and my expectation. But I made a swatch and I decided to make the Ingrid top by Gregoria Fibers. And I already was working on that. And this is what I had made. And with this yarn, with all the variegations and speckles, I do believe the texture of the eyelets and the pole rose with them, it works fine. It works beautifully. I like the color combination. And I don't think the pattern, the texture is too busy for the yarn, or the yarn is too like busy for the texture. So I was working on this and I can really see this in an Ingrid top. And I would like that. But then the doubt came. And I went over analyzing. And the problem I have is, what will I wear underneath this? And I should have thought of that before, because I knew those were eyelets, but I didn't. And as you can see, the eyelets are just big enough. And with my black Tolsta, I can wear a black top underneath it and it's okay. But with this, a black top would be too harsh. A white top, I think, would be too harsh. Maybe a nude top. But I don't want like a full camisole wearing underneath a sleeveless wool knitted top. That would be like so contradictory. Because the yarn is a little bit warmer, I think, because it's wool. I thought the eyelets would make it like airy, because the air can literally blow through it. But I don't know what bra situation I can wear underneath it. I think a pink bra even would just stand out too much. So yeah, I'm deciding to rip this out and make a fingering weight Tolsta with this. And just a plain stockinette Tolsta, no texture or eyelets. And I think that will suit the yarn lovely. And then I will get more wear out of this yarn, because then it's t-shirt and wool. I can wear it as a layering piece or as a whole, but also like a sleeveless top, summer top and long jeans. That's not my summer uniform. I think jeans are really hot in summertime. I really love skirts and especially dresses. So I want to wear this on top of a skirt, and to be honest, the color combination doesn't work that well with the skirts that I have. Maybe one or two. I should have thought about this before I bought the pattern. But hey, I can see myself making an Ingrid top in like a white color like everyone else has done. Or maybe a navy, and then I can wear a dark top underneath this. Like a dark bralette. So I don't mind that. But I still wanted to show it to you, because I have knitted this. And I really like working with this. But it's a little bit of a fail on my part. And I'm going to make this work. So maybe next time I will have started the Tolsta. I'm not sure yet, because I'm planning for like in 4 weeks I'm going to Spain. What will I want to make before that? Or what do I want to make? Yeah, knit over there. Keep you posted. And then my last whip is something really different. And maybe not all that summery, but I'm working on it still. It's the Field Day cardigan by Ozetta. The first time is that right? Yeah, the first time I'm knitting something from Ozetta. It's a really awkward shape to show you, but it's a really nice oversized fit, boxy fit, drop shoulder V-neck cardigan. That's intended to be cropped, which I'm here for. And this is the fabric that I came up with. So the yarn that I used is Veil Berlingot tweed colorway. So it is a tweed yarn, and the blend is 60% cotton, 32% viscose and 80% polyester. So it is actually a summer yarn. It's really soft and nice to the touch. It will grow, but I don't mind it being like really oversized. And the speckles that are in here are not painted. Those are actually like tweed fluffy fabric thingies. So this is the back panel with the slant here for a drop shoulder. And I picked up the stitches for the right shoulder over here. And that's what I was working on. I believe the right shoulder version part is ready, and I'm knitting the bottom band at the same time. It is just a rib bottom band, so it's really stretchy. First time doing this. My second cardigan, I already made the champagne cardigan by Petite Knit, and that was my first one, and also the first double knitted bottom band. I think I like the look of a double knitted bottom band more, but I really enjoy knitting it at the same time. So I think this will fit a little bit like this. So it comes already to here. I am afraid that it will grow, it will come over here, so it will be really big. But I'm not sure. My gauge, my stitch count is fine. It's with pattern. The row gauge isn't. That's too big, so I hope it will be a little bit in proportion. But we'll see. So I can see myself wearing this like in summer evenings, or maybe just spring, autumn weather. And to be honest, most of my winter knits, like the woolly knits, are quite hot. So I think this is a fabric that would work well for me in wintertime as well. I don't know if the color is a wintry fabric for me, but hey, I also like white cardigans, so why not? So yeah, a little bit tough to show you, but I believe I'm already at the part that I can pick up stitches for the left shoulder, and then it will turn a little bit more in a cardigan. So keep you posted. I believe I'm making a size, is this a medium? I'm already making a size smaller, because normally I'm a size large with all knitting patterns. It's rarely that I am not a size large, more that I'm like a large, extra large. For me, that feels crazy, because I don't really feel like that, if you can see me right now, but hey, that's just it. So I'm curious. I'm a little bit afraid that it will grow too much. Have I blocked my swatch? No. Should I have done that? Yeah. But I don't know. And to finish up this video, I want to show you a little bit of new yarn that I've bought. I've bought this and this, but I've showed you already. And for my next Tolsta, I also bought yarn, because I had this yarn lying around, and you've seen this before maybe in a previous podcast. I bought this yarn in the sale at my yarn store, where they had a big sale going on with all the yarn for 50% off. So it was really tempting to buy a lot of yarn. But in the end, I bought so much that I don't know what to do with that. So lesson learned, I need to plan my yarn acquisitions. This is Caidree linen yarn. It's 53% cotton and 47% linen. It's a little bit tougher to the touch than the black linen yarn that I showed you. And I already worked with this yarn for a bag, for the Technicolor tote bag by Petite Knit. And like blue suits me really well with my blue eyes, etc. But this is such a bright color that I don't know what to do with this, because I don't know. I firstly intended to make like I believe the racerback top by Jessie Made Designs, but then I looked it up and I felt like it doesn't suit people all that much. It's not flattering, so I didn't want to make that. And in the end, I decided to make a Tolsta and just use it as a stripe. So this is DK weight yarn. Yes. What? Oh, here. 50 grams is 112 meters. And the yarn that I chose with this is again Lana Grossa. 12. Isn't that 12 in Italian? It's 65% cotton, 25% viscose and 10% linen. It's a really soft and beautiful yarn. It's a little bit thicker to the touch. It's 50 grams is 110 meters, but it feels thicker. So I'm intending to held this double and this single, and I think that will work out fine. That's the plan. And I chose this greeny color because then it will soften out everything. So I want to make maybe the same thickness of stripes and then begin with the green and then the blue, or maybe a little bit smaller, like 5 centimeters for example. And I bought 1 skein of this dark blue Dodici yarn so I can use that for the ribbing, the edging, just to make it a little bit more fun, I guess. So I don't think it's exactly Claudia. If it's really me, I need to see it in the end. I really like this navy color. I really like this lovely green, but I'm not really sure about this blue, and the combination is maybe a little bit too childish for me, but I hope it will turn out wonderful. And I'm planning to make this as a car knitting project on the way to Spain. So we'll see. Yeah. And for those of you who are wondering why it seems like I'm only buying Lana Grossa, it's just that yarn stores here in the Netherlands, the main yarn that they carry is Lana Grossa, because I believe it's a German brand, but it has a really large Dutch section as well. So yeah, they have over here Lana Grossa, Katia, Lang yarns a little bit, and then some Dutch brand Yarn and Colors, Drops, and then a lot of acrylic blends, yarn blends and brands that use a lot of acrylic yarn, so I don't use that. So yeah, that's the Lana Grossa. It's just because I can choose the colors that I want. And I have yarn on the way, but I'm a little bit hesitant about the color choices, but that's the thing with online shopping. So I bought Sandnes Garn thin line for my barbaro top, and I had a whole debate of 2 days what yarn I wanted to buy for that, because it's a top. I really want to make that, but I'm not sure how much I will wear this. Just as a sleeveless summer top, I want to wear on top of skirts, or maybe as a layering piece. So I think the color will come close to this. It's a little bit darker. I believe it's a darker dusty green color that I chose for that, because then I can layer it as well and wear it on top of jeans. But that was a whole exercise to choose that yarn. I was thinking about knitting for Olive pure silk, because that's the yarn that's recommended, but then it would still turn out to be a top of 40 euros, I believe, almost. And I think that's too expensive for a top I'm not really sure I'm going to wear all that often. For me, it's a little bit too expensive, because I want to buy more yarn for other things as well. So that was what I kept in mind. And also the color selection of Knitting for Olive at this moment, I don't think it's that great. I think it's really limited. And I really wanted to make a really dark green color, like a foresty dark green. But they didn't have that. Well, none of the brands that I looked at had that. Or the yarn choices that I had in mind. I have to be honest. I want to make it in a summer yarn and not in a merino, but because then I'm afraid it will be too warm. I also contemplated Vilco Lana Merci, but I didn't like the color choices over there as well. So Sandnes Garn thin line is the first time that I will be using Sandnes Garn. It's just taking a while to get here, unfortunately. And I also bought with that because I had to use, I had to pay shipping costs. And what do you do then? Now you fill up your basket to the point you don't have to pay the shipping cost. So what I did was buy 12 skeins of Sandnes pure Gint for a winter sweater. It's completely ridiculous that I bought so much yarn, but in my defense, I'm splitting the cost of my winter yarns, because winter yarns are so much more expensive. You need so much more yarn for one sweater, and I bought it in a beautiful, like, bright dark blue. I believe it's called, is it Happy Blue? I don't know. I will show you maybe next time, or in the winter time you will see it. But yeah, that's on the way as well. I just hope it's not too rough to the touch, the Peer Gint. But I really want to try some new yarns, because last year I almost exclusively knitted with drops, because that's really affordable. But I want to expand it a little bit, and I probably will still use drops yarn, but not for everything. Okay, that was my ramble in the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're still watching right now, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I will see you in the next video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.